So like back in our mama's day, like back when my mom was like my age, if you wanted to quit your 9 to 5 or even like make extra income, you kind of had to start being like a culty peddler of MLM garbage from the trunk of your car. But now the trend we see is quitting my 9 to 5 to be a full-time creator, or my road to becoming a full-time creator. And here's the thing, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I want you, if you want to be a full-time creator. I want anybody who wants to be a full-time creator. But I've been in this world a hot minute. I've been creating content on YouTube for a decade at this point. Seriously, for about 9 years, right? But I've been creating content as a podcaster, as a YouTuber, as a TikToker, as an Instagrammer, as an email marketer, like all of these things for a long damn time. I was blogging 15 years ago. And I can tell you there is one trait that determines whether someone's gonna be successful or unsuccessful at becoming a creator. I know exactly when I look at someone who's trying to do this thing, who will be successful and who won't be. Do you wanna know what that thing is? The creators who have success, who are able to go full-time and who go on to do big things and continue to be creators longer than like 6 months or a year, treat it like a business. They think like a business owner. They go beyond just being a content creator or influencer. And you may not know what I mean, but I promise we'll get there. So I'm gonna show you kind of the characteristics or the things or the behaviors that you need to do to shift from creator to business owner so that you can be a full-time creator, so that you can actually be successful here. But I need you to hear me when I say it does not matter what platform. This is platform independent. I do not care if you're trying to be an Instagrammer, a YouTuber, a TikToker, a podcaster, like I do not care. All of these tips I'm about to share will help you on any platform. And plus also, this strategy that you have to think like a business owner is applicable on any platform. I actually have 5 major ways that you can shift from creator, like take off your creator hat and put on the business owner hat. Even if you're like, I don't even know what this means. How do I do this? I understand what you're saying, Jessica, but give me the play-by-play. I've got 5 ways that you're gonna be able to do this by the time that this video is over. And the last one is probably my favorite. Okay, so first things first, you are going to want to set this shit up like a business from the beginning. Legally, form an LLC, file a DBA, like whatever you need to do to keep this from just being you on the internet. You don't, even if you are a personal brand, right? Like even if you are Jessica Stansberry creating under the name Jessica Stansberry, have a business name, have a way to like differentiate you from business, but do everything you can to legally set up the business. And there's other ways besides legally that you need to like set up your business like a business and not just act like a creator. You need to have a business bank account, even if you don't use it right now. Like you may make no money for 6 months or 8 months or 10 months or 12 months or like whatever. So you may not use it for that amount of time, but you need to have it ready because brand deals are gonna need it because your taxes are gonna depend on the fact that you're keeping this money separate. Think like a business owner and set this stuff up like a business owner. Another thing that a business owner would do when they're setting everything up is that they would put safeguards in place. So like make sure that your stuff can't get hacked, you can't get locked out. Your content is your business. So put all of these safeguards in place to make sure that this is set up like a business that you are trying to protect from the very beginning. And one of my favorite ways to do this, to like safeguard, is today's sponsor, Bitdefender. Roll the ad. As a YouTuber, one of my biggest fears is that my YouTube channel will get hacked and I will lose everything overnight. I mean, I've seen it happen. My girl Millie from It's Modern Millie had her channel completely hacked. She couldn't get into it. It was like a whole thing, and she has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And we've all seen like the big headlines of like the big YouTubers who get hacked because unfortunately, hackers don't care. You could have 10 subscribers or you could have 100,000,000 subscribers. They don't care. Hacker's gonna hack. And this is gonna be a hard pill to swallow because it was for me. 2-factor authentication doesn't matter. It doesn't guarantee protection. They can get through that. Honestly, you could have a hacker lurking in your accounts right now and not even know it. They could be like waiting for the right moment to like lock you out and take everything over and dominate the world with your channel. What? That is so creepy. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, oh my gosh, can't YouTube just get my channel back? Sometimes I'm not willing to bet on sometimes. Plus, even if they do get your channel back, the things that the hackers do while they have your channel, deleting videos, putting new videos on your channel, that's the scary part. Because if a hacker has your channel and then like deletes your videos, your AdSense money is gone. The affiliate money from those things are gone. And honestly, even if you do a lot of like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean for this to happen, I had hackers, and you do all the like, PR stuff, you probably lost a little bit of trust with your audience too. So if a hacker takes over your channel and you have no control over what they take down or upload, the amount of time it takes to get that back, you're losing subscribers and revenue. I have spent years, y'all, building my channel and building my audience and the trust of my audience. And I want no part of losing all of that to hackers. But the cool part, well, I guess it's not cool for the people who are part of the stat, but the cool part is that 93% of these types of hacks could have been prevented with the right security measures. And this is why I love Bitdefender security for creators. Like, what other company is out here trying to protect our booties? Nobody, none, zero, zilch. They're the best because they have built a solution that specifically helps you protect your channel and honestly, your entire online presence. Because Bitdefender's out here safeguarding your devices, your logins, your personal data, all with advanced but easy to use features. Trust me, you don't have to be a tech expert. Anybody can set this up because Bitdefender's intuitive setup kind of does all of the heavy lifting for you. Your YouTube channel is your livelihood, so don't leave it to chance, Arm yourself with the powerful protection that you need for your channel, for your livelihood, for your income, for your content, and protect all of that by securing your channel today with Bitdefender security for creators. All right, so if you wanna try Bitdefender, head to the link in my description because I really do love it. It has caught so many attempts and so many different skeezy things since we installed it. It has been spectacular. So if you wanna try it out, link is in my description. Now, let's move on to number 2 here. How you're gonna shift from creator hat to business owner hat. You have everything set up now like a business, legally, financially, protectively, like all the things, okay? What you need to do is you need to have an actual freaking strategy. Listen, Linda. Oh my gosh, I saw somebody the other day be like, so-and-so keeps saying, listen, Linda, and I don't know what this is from. And I couldn't remember what listen, Linda was from either. But thankfully the comments came to the rescue because it was the meme where the little boy's like, listen, Linda. So anyway, listen, Linda. A creator would fly by the seat of their pants. Someone who's not thinking like a business owner would fly by the seat of their pants. They would just say, I'm gonna create content and figure it out as they go. But you're not gonna do that because again, you're gonna think like a business owner, and a business owner would have an actual plan in place. How am I getting to 10,000 followers by this date? How am I getting to my first brand deal by this date? How am I getting to my first $2,000 by this date? An actual plan in place, content calendars, strategic plans to feed the algorithm and learn things. You've got to have a strategy. Repeat after me. Flying by the seat of our pants is not a strategy, okay? And it's not how you think like a business owner. Third thing that's gonna take you from creator mode to business mode and get you to being a full-time creator, get you doing the things you need to do. And this one's really gosh darn important, okay? And that is to grow an email list. Y'all, okay, so this is big in the business world. This is huge. People talk about this all the time. We've been talking about growing an email list since the dawn of the dinosaurs, okay? And if you don't know why building an email list is important, let me give you my little speech on this. Platforms come and go. Platforms come and go, but also platforms are their own thing. When you build an audience on a platform, you have built your audience on borrowed land. You have taken your little house that is your audience and built it on land you do not own. So the little landowner can come and be like, we're selling this land. What are you supposed to do with your house? Or they can come and say, we want you off of this land. It works the same way with platforms. They come and go. The hot thing now won't be the hot thing in 5 years, right? Like TikTok won't be the hot thing in 5 years. I do think certain platforms have more longevity, like our main platforms we have now, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, they've kind of all shown a longevity situation, except for the fact that TikTok could be banned every time we turn around. But the point here is Platforms come and go, and platforms get to make the rules. So if they don't want you there, you don't get to be there. If you've got Bitdefender protecting your booty, this won't happen, but they can also get hacked. I know plenty, I've been doing this 10 years. I know plenty of people who have had their main platforms hacked, deleted, gone, never to have gotten back. That shit happens. So an email list steps in and says, you own this, so let's get your most dedicated people over to this email list. Not only does it allow you to like own part of your audience so that like, let's say your TikTok gets hacked, you could email them and be like, hey, I'm moving over to Substack, until my TikTok is back, or like whatever, right? It allows you to do that, but also, and plus also, it allows you to nurture them even more than you ever could on a platform. It allows you to get back in touch with them over and over and over again, to sell to them when you have something to sell. When you have a brand deal, it gives you leverage with brand deals because now you have an email list to go along with the thing, and brands know how important email lists are. So having an email list is huge. It's crucial. It is business minded. And this is a big one if you want to go from creator to business owner in your head so that you can become the full-time creator that you want to be. Now, the fourth thing here is an obvious thing, but probably not really, and that is to have a niche. Business owners have niches, content creators fly by the seat of their pants. So have people been able to create a full-time living being a creator who talks to everybody and talks about everything? Sure. But it's not the norm. It's not common, and it is a very specific type of person that can make that happen. They still end up having a niche, they just didn't actually choose it. Business owners have a niche. Business owners up here, people who are thinking about this like a business, know that a niche is important. That knowing who you're talking to and creating content for that person is going to skyrocket you, is going to grow your platforms, is going to grow your income faster than just being all over the place. I do not mean, BT dubs, that you have to only talk about one topic. I mean that you need to talk to one group of people. And if you'll do that, you will grow above and beyond the people who just think they get to make a living being themselves. You do, right? Like that is a thing. You do get to do that. But if you just go out being like, today I'm talking about farming and tomorrow I'm talking about like kids, and the next day I'm talking about fashion, and the next day I'm talking about politics, right? Like if you have all of this shit going on, the growth can't happen as quickly. Now, some people feel really like stagnated by that. You can branch out and niche out and broaden out and widen out once you have done this to begin with. So start more niche down, and as you grow, you can get more broad. All right, so we're at number 5. Remember I told you that the last one might be my favorite because it is probably the most important thing. Creators flake, business owners don't. In other words, be consistent. Creators will just create when they want to create. Creators will just create when they feel like it, right? Business owners know that they have to consistently show up for these algorithms to be like, yes, we're going to show people your content. For the people who find you to be like, oh my gosh, I love all of their content. Business owners know that consistency breeds legitimacy. So if you will be consistent, you will stand out beyond creators who aren't. Now, somebody inevitably is going to be watching this and be like, oh, I follow a ton of creators that aren't consistent and they do fine. Yes, they're the exception to the rule, not the rule. And you cannot build this full-timeness as an exception to the rule. Creators will oftentimes, like people who are not taking it super seriously, and really that's what I'm getting at here, right, is to take it seriously. But people who are not taking this thing seriously will often be like, oh, I just don't feel like creating, or I wasn't inspired, or like life got in the way, right? But business owners know that they can't let that happen. So they're going to put things in place like batching or scheduling or whatever to make sure that they don't do that. And honestly, that comes down to, please don't do this until you're ready to friggin' do it. I tell people all the time with launching a YouTube channel, because I have a course around launching a YouTube channel. I have a big program where we use YouTube to like grow our funnels and things like that. And so I teach YouTube a lot, right? And so I tell people all the time, Do not start YouTube until you know you can be consistent. And I tell people that a lot in my real life too. Like people, peers of mine or whatever, will be like, oh, I'm gonna start on YouTube. And my first piece of advice is, do not start until you can start. Like, do not start until you know that you'll be consistent. And every single time in those instances, not with my students, because they know, right? Like I drill it in their head. But in like the peer instances, every single time, they'll be like, yeah, I know. I'm ready. I've got an editor. We're going to film like 4 videos. Like we got this. And every single time within 2 to 6 videos, they drop off. And then they're back in my DMs in 6 months saying, how do I revive my dead channel? And that's real damn hard to do. So do not start this until you can start this. We have so many more options now than ever before to create full-time income. And it's cool as hell, right? Like it's so cool that we have these options. It's so cool that I get to sit here in my home office on a 90-some degree day in the mountains of North Carolina and record content, and that is my job, right? Like that's so freaking cool. But if you actually want to get to that point, if you actually want to have longevity, if you actually want to quit the job or go full-time, whatever like you're trying to do here, you have to think of it as a long-term thing. You have to think of it as a business. You have to plan. And beyond everything else we talked about today, you actually have to think about how you're going to make money, right? Like that's a big deal. And a lot of people think that it just like comes, which in some ways I guess it does, but in most of the ways you've got to figure this out. So this video right here will actually help you come up with a plan to make 10K months in the next 6 months. So I highly suggest you go watch this, especially if you're like, yes, business owner mode, let's go.